So hi, so it's Ken again. So today we're going to do a basic cross-connection Qigong Tai Chi exercise. Okay, we're going to coordinate our breath with the movements of our body. We're going to try and connect our hands with our feet, our knees with our elbows, and our hips with our shoulders. And we're going to try and connect all them with our center of gravity, the area that we call the dantian in Tai Chi, the field of the elixir, the area that's about 3 fingers below the belly button and in the center of the body. I want you to imagine a ball in your belly. It's about the size of your fist, about 3 fingers below the belly button and in the center of your body. Imagine it's closer to the spine than to the upper body, and you feel as if your head is as if it is suspended from above. So you have the feeling like you have a long ponytail on the top of the head tied up to the ceiling, but you're also taking the weight of the head, the upper body, down through the spine, down through that ball in the belly, and down through the legs and into the ground. So you're perfectly perpendicular to the planet. You're not leaning forwards, backwards, or to the side. I want you to push your sacrum forwards here, not from the hips. You're pushing, moving from the sacrum here. At the same time, suck your belly in. Suck the belly in and push the sacrum forward. And then just feel it hanging down from that suspension from above. So you're relaxing all the pelvic area, but using your mind, your intent to keep the sacrum pushed forwards and the belly sucked in. But you're still breathing. You're breathing into that area that's about 3 fingers below the belly button and in the center of the body, which you can't do, but I want you to imagine you are breathing into that point. It's about 3 fingers below the belly button and in the center of the body. Arms relaxed down by your side, keeping a small gap underneath your armpits at all times. So when your arms are closest to your body, at least let the air get to your armpits. You're touching the tongue onto the roof of the mouth, behind the front teeth, lift some teeth together, soften your jaw muscles. We know the jaw muscles, the strongest muscles in the body. If you're holding tension in the jaw, that tension will replicate itself throughout other parts of the body. So lips and teeth lightly together. Have that pulled back feeling with the ears, lifting feeling with the head, the jaw parallel to the floor. Sink the chest to round the upper back. Already said, suck the belly in, tuck the sacrum forwards. Feel like you're sitting down. So always, unless you're otherwise instructed in Tai Chi, always keep a slight bend in your knees, or at least soften your knees. So you're not bending right down like this, you're just softening the knees, you're not locking the knees out. Okay? So, that ball in your belly, I want you to put your awareness into your belly, your mind, your awareness into there. So try not to think away from what we're doing here. Try to move from your center. Put your mind, your awareness into that area. I just want you to start to move it from side to side. Moving it from side to side. So we're not swaying from side to side, you're moving from your center, moving from leg to leg, sinking down. So you're moving from your center, you're not moving from the hips, you're not going like this with the hips here, you're moving from your center. You're shifting the body, moving from side to side. And feel yourself sinking down, feel the natural shock absorbing properties of your legs. So again, you're not locking the leg out, you're softening the knees, the hips and ankles, and just moving from side to side. Moving from side to side, sinking down. There's a slight rotation of all the bones as they become more weight bearing. It's important that they do. Feel that slight rotation, a nice even rotation all the way through the body. To give you a side view here. You sink down, the knee goes forwards, the hip goes backwards. And there's ever such a slight turning to the side. I'm exaggerating that. It's like you're doing that. But it's just the gravity, the weight of the body and the ground underneath your feet that's dictating how much the bones rotate. You're still opening, softening all the joints, moving from side to side. You really want to feel the spring, the elasticity of the connective tissue, the myofascia, the stringy, stretchy white stuff that surrounds and connects everything inside the body. And you have what are called bands of connective tissue called anatomy trains, which are bands of this connective tissue joining muscles together that give you different planes of movement. I really try to work with those bands, those anatomy trains in my Tai Chi practice. You can bring the breath into this if you've not already. You can breathe in, bounce out, breathe out, sinking down, breathing in, bouncing out, breathing out, sinking down. You can imagine you're balancing a bowl of water on the top of the head. You don't want to spill that down your body. Visualizations are very important in the stuff that I do, because we know the nervous system doesn't know the difference between imaginary and real. So if you do imagine something, the nervous system will instruct the body into the right positionings, the right amount of relaxation and tension to perform the task that you're imagining. So imagining you're balancing a bowl of water on the top of the head, and at the same time, imagine you're standing up on something floating on water. Imagine you're standing up in a rowing boat or on a floating platform, on a raft, pushing from side to side, sinking down and then bouncing down out. So if you were standing on something floating on water, you wouldn't be rigid. You won't be leaning from side to side as you would fall in the water. So really do imagine it, and the nervous system will instruct the bodies into the right amount of relaxation and tension to perform that task. And you'll really be able to feel the spring, the elasticity of the connective tissue. So it's as if standing up in a rowing boat while balancing a bowl of water on the top of the head. Breathing in and breathing out. Really feel as if you're breathing into that ball in the belly. And you could feel as if the breath expands from there and fills the whole body. So you're breathing into the leg. And it's this expansion of the leg that pushes you out. And breathing out at the deflation or contraction lowers you down. Breathing in and breathing out. In and out. And you can mirror me here. Okay, so I want you to drop the weight of the body down onto your left leg. And as you breathe in, left leg to right leg, I want you to push your left arm up. And breathe out, lower it down. So you sink down onto your right leg. Make sure you're not excessively folding it in the inguinal crease, the groin area here. Still pushing the sacrum forwards, pulling the belly towards the back, that rotation to your right. And breathing in, that ball in the belly, feel it expand down your leg and feel as if it's expanding up your arm as well. And it's the breath breathing into your body that's making your arm rise up. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in. So the breathing into the belly. The breath expands, it descends down your leg and ascends up your arm. And it's this what pushes your arm up and pushes you out of the leg. Then breathing out. You're drawing the hand in ever so slightly with this rotation of the bones in the body. Dropping down. So you're not just letting it drop straight down. You're taking the weight of the arm in and down. So you're using the weight of the arm to compress your body against the ground, or using the weight of your arm to help with that sinking down into that water you imagine you stand in that rowing boat. Breathing in. Keeping the shoulders nice and relaxed, breathing out. So you're not lifting your arm using your shoulder. In fact, you get to the point where you're just about to activate your shoulder. Instead of activating the shoulder, do the opposite. Release the shoulder. Breathing in. So the arm starts to sink while the hand and the fingers continue to travel up. You have like a shock wave going up through the body. It's like the cracking of a whip. Shock wave going out. This release of energy. Man, you're sinking down to water, bouncing out, and you're sending that buoyant feeling up through the body. And out to the fingertips. It's much like water traveling up a hose, like a garden hose or a fire hose. The hose moves because of the water pressure traveling up through. Excessive amounts of tension in the muscles or in the joints will act like a kink or a bend in the hose and will stop the flow. Send it out to the fingertips. You can even imagine it is going out through the fingertips like water sprinkling out of the hose. Still sucking the belly in, tucking the sacrum forward, and holding that with your mind intent rather than muscular effort. Breathing in. Feel the resistance of the air. The air, it does have a resistance. Just because it's invisible doesn't mean there's nothing there. If there was nothing there, you'd be on the floor in a heap gasping for that air. So really feel the resistance of the air. You know, our air is made up of lots of different gases, just oxygen, nitrogen, helium, carbon, methane, dust particles, pollens, tens if not hundreds of other trace elements. So really feel yourself moving through this soup we call our atmosphere. Feel its resistance. Then you can feel as if you're moving through something thicker than the air. Feel as if you're moving through water. Feeling its resistance. Again, the imagination, very powerful tool. Very powerful tool. You probably have experiences where maybe you've watched a horror movie or something, and your nervous system is tensing the body in response to the things you're imagining that could happen to you. The body's all tense. So that's a kind of a negative effect the mind, the nervous system having on your body. And we're trying to have more of a positive to get that elastic feeling in the body. So really feel the resistance to the air. Feel as if you're moving through something thick in the air. Feel as if you're moving through water. Moving through it. And again, the nervous system will instruct the body into the right positions to perform that, moving through water. As if moving through water, you can imagine you're sinking down to something floating on water, sinking down and bouncing, as if you're balancing a bowl of water on the top of the head. And there are those little voices that will say, oh, you can't do all that, it's silly, that is. Yeah, only if you won't be able to do it if you don't believe, if you don't really put your throw away that disbelief, and really do imagine these, and you'll kind of discover lots of things about how the body moves, how you can have a really positive effect on the fluidity of movements of the body, and all the tensions all the stresses that are in our life manifest in our body as physical tensions and disconnections in the body. Breathing in and breathing out. And then divide the weight between both legs and listen to both legs. Breathing in. So you don't have as much rotation of the bones now. Breathing out. Still sucking and tucking the belly in, breathing in. Breathing out, breathing into that ball in the belly. Feel the breath descend down your legs and ascend up your arms. And you can feel as if the breath contracts back to your center. And we do physically breathe out, but imagine the breath just stays in your body. So it expands to your extremities, the tips of the fingers, the tips of the toes, the top of the head, then contracts back to that ball in your center. So you're expanding and contracting. Nice deep abdominal breaths. Breathing in, tongue and roof of the mouth. Lips and teeth biting together. Breathing in. And breathing out. And you can do this for as long as you like. But I'm going to stop now. Because I've got a class I've got to go and teach. So give it a practice. Watch the video over again to get all the little points I put in there, and try and practice it for a few minutes every day. You'll notice improvements in your concentration, in your relaxation, and the connectivity of your body. So I will say goodbye for now.